CHOPS is a unique place. It's a preventative-based nonprofit that works with middle and high school teens in a variety of different program areas and activities. Our mission is to provide a safe, fun, and productive place where teens can connect, engage, and discover their true potential. And we serve any teen that wants to come through these doors, and whether they're into art, whether they're into gaming, whether they're into moving in the gym, cooking, there's just so many different pathways that whether they know it or not, we can engage, and then you can get to the deeper discussions where we actually can start mentoring and coaching and helping and ultimately empowering.
I heard about CHOPS through a friend. They introduced me to CHOPS one day after school. I told her that I was bored and I had nothing to do at home, and she told me, come with me after school to this place called CHOPS. And I thought it was a good idea. I asked my parents for permission and they told me yes, and then later do we know it, we're here at CHOPS.
When teens walk into CHOPS, the person at the front desk knows them by name. They know what their interests are. When they walk into a department like the art studio, our art coordinator is going to greet them, know what's going on in their life, and connect with them personally, not just the medium that they're working in, but emotionally, socially. They understand the challenges that they're going through, the feelings, the emotions, everything. They get it, and they're there for them 100% of the time.
One adult in a teenager's life can totally change the trajectory of their life. So when that teen comes in and says, I'm interested in technology, I love gaming, and I want to start there. Well, they might not have somebody in their family who's in the tech field or has gone to college, and so here we can form that relationship with them and teach them what those next steps are.
Teens, generally speaking, I think have a lot going on. They're transitioning out of childhood into adulthood, but then you have a number of different things that are being expected of them or being told that they need to do or not to do, both on the home front and at school. So I think CHOPS does a really good job when these teens walk through this door on just taking them right where they're at that day.
That kind of relationship and that kind of basic human need being met for the teens, it empowers everything else that you want them to be able to do and be successful in their lives.
It's really hard to be a young person these days. Young kids are dealing with a lot of challenges. You look at reports, all of the mental health challenges that young people are going through. They're living in homes where families are stressed because they have to work multiple jobs. So the idea of having time with your children is sort of a thing of the past. And knowing that CHOPS is there to provide a protective and safe place where children or young people can explore, their talents, they can build relationships, that they have trusted adults to help guide them, is just reassuring. And every member of our community should be thankful that CHOPS exists to serve our young people.
The teens, the youth of our community have gone through a lot. In this area, not only dealing with the pandemic, troubles that afflict every school across the nation, but also the fires. There's been a lot of trauma in the community, and having a safe place to come together, to have someone to rely on. I think we've all seen that there are studies that show how detrimental loneliness can be for the development of not only kids and youth, but adults. And social media, as good as it is at connecting lots of people across broad paths, it's not that great at that individual relationship piece. So I think this is a place where you see kids that aren't on their phones the whole time, that are developing those relationships, that are benefiting from that in ways that they might not get somewhere else. CHOPS isn't big enough to serve every need of every kid across the whole city, let alone the whole county. But it made me think of the story where there's an old man walking across the beach, and it's just there's starfish everywhere. And he sees a kid throwing a starfish one at a time into the ocean. And with each wave that comes in, more starfish get dumped onto the shore, and the old man walks up to the kid and says, "Hey, what are you doing? You can't possibly make a difference. There's so many starfish." And the kid just looks up at him and bends down, picks up a starfish, throws it as far as he can into the ocean, and says, "It made a difference to that one." That's what CHOPS does. It can't meet the needs for every kid, but the ones that it does makes a profound, huge impact in their lives.
I heard about CHOPS from a homeless shelter, actually. I was in a pretty dark area at my time of life in the homeless shelter, but when I came here, it really changed how I view things. My entire experience here at CHOPS Teen Club, my life personally, and the way how it was changed over the past 9 months that I've been here would be extraordinary. I've changed my attitude, my personality, and my views and morals on life solely from being here, as it's such a great and positive influence for me. What keeps me coming back here to CHOPS would personally just be how open and how free you can be here. It's a free choice environment. It's non-judgmental. You get to do what you want. And it's just the people, honestly. The people here are amazing. And I keep getting enticed every single day to come back. Probably the best part of my day is coming here, honestly. And it's even hard for me to explain with words just how great it is to be here.
After 23 years of working at CHOPS, I have had the pleasure of watching thousands of teens come through this place, and now thousands of young adults experience life and become contributing members of society. It's amazing. When you invest in something, you are using your resources, whether it's time, money, energy, and really you're hoping that you're gonna have an impact for good in the community.
If you care about the future workforce of your community, if you care about the future economic success of your community, if you care about the future health and wellness of your community, the best way to get that is to invest in the youth of your community.
Here's what happens when we invest in young people. When we arm them with the tools and the resources to be successful, we can see that they're going to do better in school. We're going to see higher graduation rates, we're going to see better jobs, and we're going to see a more engaged citizenry, a community.
If I was going to ask someone to invest in CHOPS, I would ask them to close their eyes for a minute and think back to their teenage years. Think back to, sure, some of the things that were great. Think about the struggles. Think about some of the things that were very difficult. Think about how having a space like CHOPS would have helped you.
CHOPS Teen Club, as in the name, it's for teens. It's not for any adults. It's for your kids, so they get to be themselves and get to express themselves. And it's honestly one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life.
I just gotta say, it's a really great place, and it never gets boring at all, so it's like really nice to have all these different things that you can do. I'm surprised there isn't more like programs like this. It's just really special.
This is a wonderful place full of wonderful kids who deserve the best things to help them succeed in life.
Look around this room right now. I'm sure you'll see some of our teens standing on the sides all around you. I want you to know that when you raise your paddle tonight, you're not only directly investing in them and their futures, but you're investing in the future of our community as a whole for many generations to come. So raise that paddle and raise it high.